have the power.
Hey Hero fans, this is Todd, and today we're going to talk about Dueling Fistos. I forgot his name for a second. Dueling Fistos. These are both Masterverse figures that have just been sitting in my room for a long time, and it is time to open them and compare them and see the difference between these two Fistos. But before I do, let's turn the camera around and talk about my mess. Your mess? Yes, my mess. So I was planning on just jumping in here and doing a video really quick, and I looked at my desk and it's like, what is going on here? I got like a computer sitting down here, I got a Castle Grayskull here, and another Castle Grayskull back there, and tore apart Skeletors and all this stuff. My Brave Star set, everything is just everywhere. And I was like, oh man, before I even start my video, I gotta clean all this up. But how did this all get here? Well, I will tell you the story, is I am redesigning the floors. They're much cooler now. They're printing right now. It's a pretty long print for each one. And I'm redesigning the computer that goes up here as well. So I'm gonna have some really cool things coming out for the Origins Castle Grayskull. And then I just gotta finish picking up my Skeletor after doing that cool custom. So let me go ahead and clean up and get everything ready for the video, and then we will start talking about those Dueling Fistos. Bum 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 bum. Hooray! It's all cleaned up. Of course, my Brave Star set's still sitting on the side of the table here, but everything else is hunky-dory and in shape. Oh, let me tighten this thing up. Gotta tighten my camera. One more twist to go. There we go. So you may be asking yourself, why two Fistos, and why do I still have them in the box after all this time, right? So let me tell you the story. As you guys know, I bought many Fistos in the past. And that reason was because I wanted to make this Custom King Grayskull. And to make this cool Custom King Grayskull, I used a 40th anniversary He-Man body. And I transferred all my King Grayskull stuff over to him. And I wanted it because he's a little bit taller than He-Man figures, just like in the cartoon. But I really liked these wrist cuffs right here for him. They matched really good, and they are a great wrist cuff for my King Grayskull. And the reason is because it has 6 points all the way around instead of just the 4. And it's just, the silver looks great. So these wrist cuffs come with Fisto, but he only gets one in each Fisto. You only have them just on the one arm. This arm you get nothing. So in order to make him, I had to buy 2 Fistos and take off his cuffs on each one to make my cool Custom King Grayskull. So that's why, as you guys know, I had multiple Fistos in the past. And of course, you know, I gotta have one still unaltered. Back then, that's what my thoughts were. So I ended up keeping this Fisto on the shelf for a very long time. And then this Fisto came along, Fisto number 2, and I thought, and you know what? I'm gonna go and get him. And I only had one thought on my mind, and that was my son-in-law told me he was a fan of Fisto. I thought, you know what? It'd be so cool to take these two and try to make some ultimate Fisto out of both of them together and make the coolest Fisto possible. And so I sat on him for a really long time, and then I found out he was just telling me he likes the Fisto character, but he's not into the figures at all. And these guys are just taking up shelf space. So it is time to open them up and check out the art of the possible. So let's go ahead and start with the first one from the Revelation series. Now, if you have not seen the first Revelation, I was very unhappy with the Fisto character. They did him dirty in it. If you watch the show, he comes out as being almost semi-racist, and it just drives me crazy. He doesn't trust Tila's friend right off the bat, and you can tell. And then he does some things. He says the Clamp Champ, which is out of character for him. I'm like, come on. I don't know if Kevin Smith did it on accident or if it just came across that way, but I was not liking the Fisto. And then they killed him off, and then they killed his soul too. It's like, really? You couldn't just kill him off. You had to also suck his soul out. Him and Clamp Champ had the same fate. So he only lasted just maybe, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes on screen total before they introduced him to when they killed him off. So it was kind of like, Kevin Smith, you must hate Fisto. But anyway, here's Fisto. Now, I always thought it was kind of weird to have a fist on this hand, too, because obviously when you punch him with this one, and the new Masters of the Universe movie, the 2026 one, they did Fisto awesome! It was so cool, and I love the way they did Fisto in that new movie. He is one of my favorites. Somebody did it right. And Fisto's not in my top 11, as you know, but he is somebody that I do like, and my daughter, when she was younger, it was one of her favorites too, so that's why it was kind of cool that they had him in the movie. Anyway, there he is. Fisto. Alright, let's talk about articulation. This is the Revelation one. We got ankle articulation, we have a boot cut, double jointed knee, we have a thigh cut, it's nice and tight there as well, and we have hip movement, we have a waist turn, we got some kind of ab crunch situation going on underneath his armor. And then we have shoulder movement, bicep cut, double jointed elbows. So you can really get that fist pound in action. Now his fist itself is actually made of metal. So it's kind of a cool feature. So I actually used it one time to make a custom Origins Fisto with a metal fist. And I had extras, right? And then this side, they glued this on, which is a pain to get off, and they got it too far up the wrist. It's like you need to put it down just that much more. It needs to line up with the hand. And so that's like, anyway, my problem, not yours. And then he has his armor. It's kind of a soft rubber, and his loincloth is kind of soft too. So you can actually do a full sit, which of course is really nice when you want to put figures in vehicles or something else, which when you got our classics, we didn't have that luxury of having them sit all the way. Which is why I got to make all these weird seat cushions now. All right, there we go. There's Fisto number 1. Now let's move on to Fisto number 2. So this Fisto here is part of the new Eternia series, and it has its own unique story. So let's go ahead and take a look at the story on him. And it says, let's see if I can hold this still. After his hand was severed by Skeletor, it's always Skeletor, Malcolm bonded with the mystical Iron Fist. Now Fisto tracks the nefarious sorcerer across New Eternia in search of revenge. So looks like Skeletor did him dirty and chopped off his arm, and then he merged, or his hand, or whatever. Let's see. After his hand. So totally different storyline, because the original storyline we saw different incarnations, from magical gloves to other things like that, to Man-at-Arms fixing him to more mechanical look. So just different ones that we've had. Now, I am really loving this face sculpt they show here. That is a great face sculpt. And Classics had a really good face sculpt for Fisto as well. So I'm anxious to see that secondary head. So let's go ahead and zoom the camera out, or move the camera back. And let's get him open now. There we go. Now, let's first look at the Cracker Jack prize. Oh, look, they got the masks of power demons in there, or monsters, or whatever. That's fun. There's the other one right there. There's another one, too. Oh, there's a whole bunch of them. You know, maybe these are the ones from the obelisk. That might be what it's from. Okay, let's take a look and see. I'm guessing the extra head's in here as well. So what do we have here? Oh, we have the extra head. Yeah, that's a really good sculpt. And Masterverse has been plagued with really bad male sculpted heads. I don't know what they did wrong, but a lot of the male sculpted heads, especially He-Man, just look bad. But this one looks really well done. I'm very impressed. There's not a lot of the male heads that were done super well. He's got this crazy hammer, which actually, it's not made of metal, but it is solid and heavy. Do these come off? Oh, they do. Maybe not. They just rotate around. I don't think they come off, though. Ugh. They look like they would pop off, but I'm afraid to pull. And then it has a purple handle, so that's always kind of fun. Matches his armor. And we got an extra hand, which we're probably going to change out right away. And there he is. Fisto, Fisto. All right. Now, it's interesting. He has a sword that is more of a swashbuckling kind of sword. And it looks similar to what we saw with his nemesis, with that curve on it, than actually a Fisto sword. Because look at, this is a typical Fisto sword, the same as Triclops. But this sword here, with that curve, it's just so much different. And it's nice they put this back on here, the thing to protect your hand from getting hit, because we've seen that a lot with a lot of the original 80s figures. I remember I'd see kids use that to wrap the swords around the hand, saying it's a way to hold it on. It's like, no, it's a finger guard. But that's okay. Those kids didn't know. Actually, what annoys me the most is when you see eBay ads, auctions, and they'll have the figure hanging on to the guard instead of the handle. It's like, really? Really? Ugh. Okay. Now here's what's funny is I'm looking at this little fist here, and that fist is so small on his other hand because the cuff is so big. It just looks like he's got a little weeny fist on this side. Let me take a look at the other Fisto just for a second. Did it have the same small little hand? No, the other hand's just a little bit bigger, not a lot. Maybe it is the same. I don't know, but this hand just looks so small with that wrist cuff on it. Well, anyway, we're going to remove it anyway. Oh, I got to not mix them up because their skin tones are different. And let's stick on the holding hand. I want to hold your hand. That does look better already with the holding hand. There we go. All right, let's talk about his articulation. He's got a sword spot too back there to hold it. So again, we have ankle articulation, boot cut, double jointed knees, thigh cut, hip movement, waist, some kind of ab crunch inside. We have a shoulder, bicep, single jointed elbow on this side, and double jointed elbow on this side. And then his mechanical hand just spins, and this one goes back and forth. So there we go. And he's got some cool armored head. And his armor is a little stiffer than the armor over here. This one's kind of really soft rubber. This one's still rubbery, but I think it's thicker or something. I don't know, but this armor does look way, way better. And let's check out their height difference. You can see they are quite a bit different in height. Look at that. Man, that's a huge difference. Let's compare to Classics. So, Classics is similar to the first one released, but of course the second one is way bigger than Classics. Fisto is quite the massive guy. Now, he's always reminded me of Josh from Big Jim, Big Josh. So it's kind of funny. He's kind of the guy that I think of when I think of Fisto as Big Josh. Does this fit back there? Not very easily. Yeah, it kind of stretches it to make it fit. So it's definitely made just for the sword. Let's go ahead and do a head swap. Ooh. And let's stick on the regular Fisto head. Oh, that's a tight fit. I have to use some hot water. I don't want to break the neck peg. But you can see this head does look rather nice on him. It is a little beanie though. But now originally Fisto always had kind of the oranges sporting the hair going on. And in 2000X, they kind of alluded that he was actually Tila's real father, hence where she gets the orange hair from. So, and this one's more brown. It could be a young King Rando or something too, pretty easily. I'll just put Mr. Ponytail back on. That's funny. It's obviously not the same guy, because there's no way you can make that big old ponytail from this head, and his beard is much shorter too. So it must be like this is the younger version, and this is the older Haggard version, ready for battle. Let's see if that fist is metal or not. Nope, this fist is not metal. I don't think. It's just plastic. Yeah, it's just plastic. Alright, so my first thoughts. Hands down, I like this one way better. Not a fan of the whole mechanical arm thing going on. I wish they would have had an alternate arm you could pop off and stick on there. I was hoping to mix these two like I was talking about, but seeing their skin tones are different. His is kind of more kind of a sickly white color, almost like my own skin tone. Yes, he's very similar to mine. Or he has just a little bit more coloring going on, and so his looks a little bit better. So I can't just rip off his arm and stick it on there. It would just look weird, and it's shorter. And so because his Fisto's bigger, well, you know what? It's not shorter on that side. It's the same arm. Whoa! I can't believe they actually used the same sculpt for the arm. So I guess if I did rip that arm off and stick it on this side, that's a lot of work though. It's not like Origins, you just pull the arm off and bada bing, bada boom, you're done. And I don't want to just change out the figure, because if I do, he'll be shorter. But you know, I wonder, look at these legs. So, is it the boots that's taller? No, the boots are the same, but let's measure from leg to thigh. And you can see right here that knee to knee, they are a little bit different. You can see there's a little more skin here from this point to the knee. And even the knee shape's just slightly different. I can't tell. Yeah, just a slight difference. And the leg sculpt is also different. You can see this muscle right here is way more developed than this one on this side right here. So the legs are completely different. He's got a gap. No! And even this piece here is actually taller. They add that cool new joint in. This side has the joint. This side does not. So they have a joint that goes up and down on this side, so you can move the leg in and out of the shorts, which is a great feature because sometimes they're not manufactured at the right height, and you'll get lopsided figures. And so that's a really cool feature. So I don't want to just swap the legs to make it work. That'd be a lot of swapping with another figure. I don't know. I might just swap the head and call it good. But technically, it's not swapping the head. It's just his alternate head. Anyway, this is a cool Fisto. I'm impressed with it. Let's put his hammer in his hand. Huh. And he has just so much more going on. I mean, this one's really boring looking. It's already Fisto fans. Fisto is a pretty boring character. I think my daughter just liked him because he was purple. But this one's got a lot going on. He's got the fur. He's got lots of things to look at on his armor. It's just way cooler. Even his fist itself looks cooler. The big old thumb. Just not a fan of the whole mechanical arm. Especially since Skeletor just cut his hand off. Why would he have a big mechanical arm to replace his hand? And that's like too much. Anyway, he is cool. Alright, let me turn the camera around. Oh, before I do, I should have had you guys vote. Now that I told you all my stuff of what I think about it, you already probably have a preconceived idea. But number 1 or number 2? Number 1, the Revelation. Number 2, the new Eternia. Which one do you like better? All right, that was fun going through. And yes, this one I do like better. With, of course, the alternate head. But the armor's pretty cool, too. And so, that's all I got. Like they say in the 1987 movie, good journey. Good journey, you guys. And I'll see you next video. And I should have something cool. So, bye now.
If you found enjoyment, like, subscribe.